Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I hope it's all sunny and warm where you guys are. As always, let me know where you're watching from. Where are you turning into? I'll see your name, but I'd love to know just where in the country. I know we're all spread out. I'm in Austin, Texas. We have our wonderful colleague working chat feature today. We have Kayla, she's in Montana. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ali Zozos. I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and I'm presenting our topic on foods that fuel your workout. It's going to look very, very similar to our pre and post workout nutrition because they are both so intertwined that we want to get these foods a lot of the times, especially post. Sometimes pre, we're getting more, we're getting things that have less fiber in them. We're getting things that are a little bit more refined because we don't want the additional fiber. We want a little bit lower fat. So it's going to look more like our post-workout nutrition for the most part for just foods that generally fuel. But hey, Kelly. Hey, Kata. Danielle, what's up? So good to see you all. Just going to let a couple of us come in today while I get my bearings ready. All right. Sergio, Florida, Tampa. Oh, super jealous, you guys. That's awesome. I was just saying we have our South by Southwest festival here in Austin this weekend. So I moved in the middle of the pandemic and it was a ghost town for the last 15 months. And it's really weird to see people on the streets. I'm like, I don't know how to be around a large group of people anymore, but it's taken over downtown. There's like festival tents, everything is just the city feels really alive. It's a good feeling to feel that we're starting to come out of this pandemic. But without further ado, let's get started today. I know we have a couple of members. We have some UFit team members as well as just gym members joining us live today. As always, I do want to get a better sense of how you guys have heard of EatLove. I'm sure you've seen some signage around the gym. You've gotten some information, some emails, some newsletters. That is why you all are here today, because we host these webinars every 2 weeks. I believe this is number 4 in our series. We do things like pre and post workout nutrition. We did Nutrition 101 with a heart healthy lens. We've done what are 1% improvements. So these are our high quality nutrition talks where you get access to myself as a registered dietitian and our team of registered dietitians at EatLove. So we'll talk a little bit about what EatLove is later today, but I do want to run a poll to hear some things. Actually, I'm just going to add a new poll. How many of you have heard of EatLove? All right, I'll just get a running poll of that. Again, thank you all so much for putting where you're coming from in your chat. Reem, email, yep. Mary Ellen. Oh, all these Florida people. I'm super jealous. Well, I'll let that poll run for a bit. It's about 50-50 right now that you have heard of EatLove. Actually, not yet is taking over a little bit. Great. So we have a big batch of fresh new faces today. So I'm super excited. Another thing that I'm going to talk about later on in our topic today is our wonderful Facebook group. And I have a QR code that all you have to do is take your phone, scan it at the screen, and bam, you will have access to our Facebook group as well, where we do bi-weekly live Q&As. So they won't be as structured as this talk, but your chance and access to, again, our team of dietitians to kind of put that nutrition noise to rest, get that science-based evidence, and how, of course, EatLove can help you filter your days. 68% of you have not heard of EatLove yet. Well, you will definitely after today. So let's go ahead and get started with our topic, foods that fuel your workout. March 16th, I blinking my eyes and it feels just like right after the new year to me for some crazy reason. And we are already almost a quarter done with 2022, which is absolutely crazy to think about. We did a little bit of introductions. My name is Ali. I am a registered dietitian based out of Austin, working with EatLove to do your nutrition topic for today. We'll do our topic. We'll talk a little bit about EatLove. And then if we have some time for questions, we will definitely open the floor on that one. So as a quick review, when we talked about pre and post workout nutrition, these are so critical. One of the things that you have to ask yourself when you are fueling for your workout or just fueling for the day in general is, how much time do you have before your actual workout? So if you have 2 to 3 hours before your class, before your training session, before your lift, whatever you're looking to do, you're pretty much having a full meal there. Those are basically what you would eat regularly for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you would have, even though you are still planning to work out that day. So you're going to want things like complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are going to be whole grains. They're going to be beans, legumes, some fruits and vegetables. Moderate protein, just like a regular protein. It doesn't have to anything have to be like super high in protein because you are working out later. And you can definitely replenish after the fact as well. But moderate protein, an ounce of protein for animal proteins have about 7 grams. So if you're having 3 ounces of chicken, which is usually that baseline serving size, you're going to get 21 grams of protein. Plus your whole grains have a little bit of protein, tiny bit of protein as well. So easy to get a 25, 30 gram of protein dish in before your workout. We are also going to get our hydration in. We're going to get 16 to 20 ounces. One of the easiest things that you can do with your hydration is to start with a glass of water first thing in the morning while you are preparing your coffee, while you are getting ready to do something that you do every single morning without fail. So think of your routines, even if you don't think about it. We get dressed every single day. We brush our teeth every single day. We're doing these things kind of subconsciously in a way. So whatever you do, think about it. It may take a minute to think about, what do I do every single morning? Could be putting on a pair of shoes to leave for work, whatever that looks like. Get your hydration in when you're doing that one action. And it's going to be a really easy way to start the day with 16 to 20 ounces of water. Because if you look post-workout, we want to get that same, we want to match that. We want to match the post-workout. And then there's some suggestions to do during your workout that we'll talk a little bit about later today. The fats are going to be your preparation method and your toppings. So preparation method, like how would you cook an egg? You usually cook it in some sort of fat. I always recommend extra virgin olive oil to get those heart healthy, brain boosting polyphenols in your dishes. It's going to be a really quick replacement to butter, which is a little bit higher in saturated fat. Again, not a bad food, but we always want to look for moderation. So our fats are always going to be how we prepare our food, whether that's preparing a protein, preparing a vegetable, and then of course our toppings. Are you going to drizzle some oil on top of it? Are you going to top with cheese, some avocado? Those are some really healthy fats that you can get 2 to 3 hours prior to training. So a veggie omelet with toast would be a really good dish. Greek yogurt with fruit would be another really great dish a couple hours before your workout. The closer that you get to your actual workout plan, the less protein, the less fat and less fiber you want to get for obvious GI reasons. If you have a pasta dish that's cream based right before your workout, 30 minutes before, that is not going to sit well in your stomach. It may taste really delicious in the moment, but if you're getting on the treadmill, you're doing a spin class, even you're doing like a really high intensity training session, that's going to be a really difficult thing to digest in the moment because fats take a long time to digest. That's why they're really great for preparation methods and topping your dishes. But what you're looking for 30 minutes to 1 hour before your training session is simple carbs. And this is one of the best times that you can get all of the refined carbohydrates that suit your fancy. Things like white rice, white bread, things that you wouldn't necessarily think are quote unquote healthy, but they're fabulous fueling sources to fuel your workout for the simple reason that they digest very, very quickly. For the exact same reason why they get a really bad reputation when we're thinking about health in general is because, oh, they're going to spike your blood sugar. They're going to, on the glycemic index, they're really high up there. And while that's true, when you're doing a workout, this is where you want that quick acting energy source. So simple carbs like a rice cake and like a little bit of hummus, a little bit of cream cheese if you can tolerate it. It's all going to be based on your personal preference, the time, how quickly you consume it. I'm not going to say don't eat any fat before your 1 hour to 30-minute workout. You will know. You will know if you're someone that it does not affect. Usually peanut butter does not bother me. Peanut butter, banana, instant toast was one of my go-to things before I would hit the gym. It just never really had an effect on me. Maybe you just don't eat the whole serving size of peanut butter. Maybe you get 1 tablespoon instead of 2. That's always a great alternative to that. But you will know if it works with your GI system and the intensity and type of workout that you are doing. So some examples might look like a banana, might be a fruit smoothie. You could use water as your base, You could do some sort of an electrolyte drink to pre-hydrate yourself. Coconut water is really great. Gatorade is also going to have a lot of sodium in it. It's not going to have as much potassium as, say, a coconut water. I love to mix the two of them. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the hydration aspect of it. But usually I'm not going to be one that's going to have a milk-based fruit smoothie before 30 minutes before my workout, because I know that's not going to sit well. But everyone has the freedom and the choice to try what works best for you, because you will notice a difference with these food combinations and these pairings and how you work with them pre and post workout to fuel your goals, to fuel your just overall workout in general. All right, so next slide here, we have a list of our all-star, is what I'm going to call them, all-star protein, carbs, and fats. So on the protein section, we have Greek yogurt, tofu, chicken, deli meats, steak, beans, salmon, pretty much every whole food protein you could possibly think of. And what's really great about all of these is that we can say that they are whole food products. You can buy these at the grocery store as they are. Even the deli meats, you don't have to buy the actual packaged ones. You can go straight to the deli counter. They can slice it fresh for you. Sometimes those taste a little bit less processed, and if less processed had a taste, it might be the fresh deli meats, the high quality deli meats that you can get from the deli counter. And the carbohydrates, your pastas, your rice, your potatoes, beans, bread, oatmeal, rice, fruits and vegetables. Everything is going to be a whole food product. Dairy could also be considered a carbohydrate. It could also be considered a fat, depending on the fat content. In my book, I always say dairy is a superfood. I love to give dairy a shout out because it always gets a really bad rep for whatever reason that you hear in the media. But honestly, it's a very great food to fuel your workout goals, to fuel your fitness goals in general, as long as you can tolerate the dairy before your workout, but post, as long as it doesn't bother you, fantastic. But all of these, the underlying theme here is that all of these macronutrients, these proteins, fats, and carbs are whole food ingredients. Unless you're buying canned beans, they're pretty much all coming from nature as you would find them. You can find dried beans in a pack, nuts and seeds the same. They'll be packaged like that, but they're still pretty much whole grain, and there's nothing wrong with canned beans either. Canned beans are one of my go-to staples, and honestly, they have the sodium content in them works really well with athletes and people fueling their fitness goals, because when you sweat, you lose some electrolytes, and we need to replenish that. So I like to rinse my canned beans for a couple minutes under some running cold water, but I welcome that sodium in there because it's all well moderated and controlled. And honestly, I sweat a lot. So I need to have that electrolyte replenishment, and that's a very easy way for me to get it in my diet. So these are some of the go-to foods. Think about the foods that you have. Actually, I'm gonna go back to our chat feature. So Kayla put in the question, what foods do you eat before your workout right now? I'm curious to hear the answer to this one as well, just to get an idea. So think about those foods. Feel free to put them at any time during our talk today. Think about those foods and think about the packaging they're coming in. What do they look like? Are they, we can see that these foods are those whole food products, and they'll be packaged Rice Krispies. Morgan, I love that. It's so funny. Rice Krispie treats, and it's a really great pre-workout just because it's a quick acting carb. And I'll give you the funniest example to this. When I discovered that before I was actually in school to be a dietitian, I was in undergrad, which I was not studying nutrition. And I was at this fair that had Rice Krispie treats, and I was so hungry. I was like, oh my goodness, I need something to eat, but I'm going right to the gym. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I was like, you know what? I need to eat something anyways. And I kid you not, I PR'd my run on the treadmill. I seriously was like sprinting top speed for longer distances. And I was like, where did I get all this energy from? It was a Rice Krispie treat, 100% the Rice Krispie treat. So I love that. I love that you said Rice Krispie treat. Alicia, nuts, that's great. That's a good, healthy fat. Not a ton of carbohydrates in there. If that doesn't disrupt your GI system, by all means, I love it. Johnny L, sometimes nothing at all. Trainer told me it's called fasted workout. Yep. So fasted workout, that's again going to be a personal preference. I'm always going to be one that will say, get something before your workout, even if it is Rice Krispie treat, gummy bears, anything that's really quick acting fuel source. Usually it's just a handful of whatever I can get my hands on if I'm walking to the gym, which is just a couple doors down. But it's either like a dried cereal is a really great option. Pretzels are another good option. Work out at 5 a.m., Mary Ellen. So don't eat, drink a BCAA during the workout. Kayla, yeah, I love that extra energy for sure. Yep. So it's always going to be something that I encourage you all to try. Of course, I don't know the ins and outs of all of your daily routines. I just want to give you all the facts that I've seen. Sometimes I end up doing the same thing as well, but definitely give it a try. Don't be scared of the pre-workout, knowing the pre-workout in the food sense, knowing that it has the potential to be a game changer for your athletic performance. When we're all chasing these fitness and health goals for ourselves, want to make sure our body's well fueled. Because when you get on this pattern, knowing that your body is requiring glucose, which is how carbs are digested, it's that baseline chain sugar that your body is looking for, it starts to pull from other stored sources called glycogen from your muscles. And if you don't have as much in there, you're going to start pulling from your actual muscles. So of course that's a rare case, and you have to be very, very, very undernourished for that to start happening. But you want to make sure that you have that baseline glucose limit. And if you don't use it, it'll store as glycogen for you to use throughout the rest of your day. Even a glass of milk, banana for the 5 a.m. gym goers, start small. Exactly. Start small, see what your body can handle. Our bodies are super intuitive. We know what's going to work well almost the minute that it happens. And give yourself that space and grace to know that it doesn't happen overnight either. Sometimes I hear, well, I'm just not hungry in the morning, or I never feel hungry. A lot of times that can just be from suppressing those hunger and satiety cues from years and years of dieting. So we want to make sure that we're getting back in touch with the cues that our body is naturally sending us. It is an excellent responder to what we feed it. And sometimes it takes 3 months, 6 months, a year for those cues and those signals to start coming back. They will come back. Just give yourself some time. And that is potatoes, Peter. Yep, that is potatoes on the carbohydrate section for sure. Potatoes, yeah, one of the best foods you could potentially get for pre-workout, as well as post to replenish those glycogen stores. Again, a lot of these foods get a really bad rep from diet culture. Because, sweet potatoes are better than white potatoes, and they have maybe a little bit more vitamin A to them. That's about it. I mean, they're a different color. We know that there's an antioxidant in it because of the color. Personally, I don't like sweet potatoes. It's one of those foods that I have it on occasion if it's in a dish, and I'll eat it, but it is not my favorite. I will choose regular potato over sweet potato any day, knowing that I can get my vitamin A from carrots. I can get it from anything else that's orange as well. Awesome. So we're going to move on to example plates. A lot of you guys that have access to EatLove, right now have seen these white plate dishes, is what I'm calling them. These are our modular styles where you can literally point to each component on the plate and say, here's my protein, here's my fat, and here's my carb. We have salmon, salsa, corn. Corn is going to be that starch here. That salsa is going to be our vegetable. And we have our salmon. We have soba noodles over here. We have some, I think, teriyaki steak. You can add a vegetable to this. Green salad over here. Chickpeas. That's going to act as your complex carb as well as protein. And then pita bread. If you're choosing a whole wheat pita, pre or post, it may have a couple more grams of protein in it, but it's not going to be the end of the world if you want to do it pre and get a refined carb there for more quick acting fuel source. This one would be a roll and some, I think it's chicken shish kebabs with some peppers and or tomatoes in that skewer. It's very simple dishes. Whenever in doubt, go back to this slide. Think about, where's my protein, fat, and carb coming from? So I can get a fat from salmon. I can pair it with some rice, and I can get, that's also going to be a protein as well, or a protein and a fat. So salmon, protein, fat, and I'm going to get some rice with a vegetable. And there I go. I have protein, carb, and carb. We're good to go. And these plates are going to be really great portion sizes to teach you what that looks like in a practical setting, and also how to adjust it for your own needs. James, I see that. Yep, you can learn more. I would check out your front desk. at your home location about more about EatLove, and I'm going to go through a short demo later in our talk today, as well as share the Facebook group that you guys can just QR code it, and then you can get a lot more information in there as well. But these are some go-to real life plates and real-time action. All right, so here is our, I'm just going to talk about hydration just a little bit here. I talked about this more in our pre and post workout piece as well, and that it is going to be so critical to get our hydration. I'm going to go back to this slide. Hydration during our workout as well. We don't want to wait till we're so thirsty that we're like on the ground, like chugging our water bottle. My dad always said growing up, he's like, if you wait till you're thirsty, it's past the point of hydration or something like that. And I kid you not, I still hear those words to this day. So that's why it's great to start that routine with water first thing in the morning and then replenish as needed while you're working out, getting 4 ounces every 10 to 15 minutes. If you're working out with a towel and you're wearing it around your neck or however that is, every time you go to wipe your sweat off, or, if you're doing the same thing with your shirt, just wiping that sweat off, take a few sips of water. 4 ounces is not that much. It's about this. It's probably 3 swigs of water just to keep your body going. And then think about replenishing with those electrolytes post, whether that's a mix of my hydration cocktail that I mix Gatorade and coconut water together to get potassium and sodium. Sodium is usually the one we think of, but in reality, we have really 4 critical electrolytes. They are sodium, potassium, magnesium chloride. We can get those in our food. Of course, like I mentioned, the beans are a really great source to get that. And then, of course, if you are getting a regular meal post-workout, you're probably going to get that from your just food in general. If you're adding an extra salt twist on your spices, or not that salt is spice, but an extra twist on your salt shaker to give you a bit more sodium. And then think of your sweat rate as well. I know I'm a huge sweater. Don't know why. I sweat a lot when it comes to just physical activity. So I encourage all of you to understand your sweat rate a little bit more detail. What that looks like is weighing yourself pre and post workout in multiple different types of environments, especially indoor, different types of seasons, even indoor with different types of seasons, different types of activities indoor. So if you're doing a spin class or you're doing a cardio training or a strength training session, you're going to sweat differently. So understanding what really takes it out of you. So say, for example, you weigh yourself before and you drink a 16 ounces of water during, and then you weigh yourself after and you are down 1 pound. You're actually down 2 pounds of fluid, but you've already replenished that first pound that you've replenished with. So you still need 16 to 20 ounces to make up that additional pound that you lost in pure fluid. There's no weight shift happening. You're not losing fat. You're not losing muscle. You're not doing anything besides losing fluids in that period of time. So that's where you're like, okay, I need to get that extra 16 to 20 ounces back in my body. Maybe throw some electrolytes in there. There's some packets now that are really wonderful that you can do without like any added sugar. Although the added sugar is a nice refueling piece to replace those glycogen stores as well, just because it is a carbohydrate. So think about it in that sense at the same time. All right. And then Peter, brown rice, white rice, both are wonderful options. Like I said, the simple carbs, which is going to be your white rice, the complex carbs are going to be your brown rice, only because they are a whole grain. Right before you work out, that simple carb is going to be ideal because it has less fiber, has less protein in it. And those are things that you don't want to have a full stomach of when you are doing some high intensity interval training workouts. But like I said, I'm usually pretty good with whole grains pre-workout. It's a fat that I can't handle. So I encourage you all to try what's going to work best for you. Brown rice has a tiny bit more fiber, tiny bit more protein, but they're both great sources of acting carbohydrates that can both fuel your workouts wonderfully. All right, so we have our Facebook group as promised. Here is that QR code. All you guys need to do is click into your phone, scan this QR code. You're going to be redirected to our Facebook group where you can request to join. We do our weekly or bi-weekly live Q&A in there just to talk about all things like brown rice versus white rice, any types of these questions that come up. They are every other Friday, I think at 1 o'clock Eastern time. But I will double check that. We post about them. Yep, come join our Facebook group. We post about them about a day before, so you can put all your questions in. But that is a QR code. I hope to get a lot of new requests after our talk today. And I just have a couple minutes left here, but I do want to review a little bit more about EatLove. So 80% of you have not heard of it, but you will after today. And I do want to post one more poll up here that is in regards to feeling stressed about meal times. So how often do you feel stressed about meals? When your family asks you what's for dinner, what is your initial reaction to that? Are you always stressed by the question, often, sometimes, or never? So while I give some background of that, I'll let you guys fill out that poll. But what is EatLove? EatLove is a nutrition technology that is personalized for both making meals at home and dining out. Think of it as your on-demand Spotify meals playlist that's flexible for every single aspect of your life. We have 4 million dietary factors to consider. That's a crazy number to think about. I can't even put that on paper, what that actually means in reality, but 4 million dietary factors that dictate what we are going to be making for ourselves, our family members, for dinner. So we need something that is very flexible, that's intelligent, that can kind of tell us what to eat before we even ask the question, what's for dinner? So you'll be pleasant to know that these foods are things that you'll find every day in the grocery store. Maybe there's something in them that you're not familiar with, but we're all about getting you tons of variety and different types of food exposure so that you're not forced to eat the same thing on a daily basis to stay within your macros type of thing. We want to make sure that you can eat a wide variety of food. Wide variety of food helps us for so many reasons. Good gut health. Good gut health means good immune system. Good immune system means getting sick less and less prone to inflammation and chronic diseases down the road. So it really stems from that diet variety. And what that looks like, here is a couple screenshots of the app, because we do have a wonderful app that you can use and take to the grocery store and interact with on a daily basis. Here is that Spotify meals playlist of what that looks like. It looks very much like Spotify. You can skip it, you can backspace, you can repeat this dish and do a whole bunch of other things in between. And the next screen share over here is going to be this grocery list. So all you have to do is select, yeah, I want to purchase this meal for this week. So I'm going to add it to my grocery cart. All you have to do is click add to my grocery cart. It auto-populates into your grocery list over here. And then from there, you can email the list to your family, get them involved. You can print the list. You can take the app to the store. You could also buy online over here through one of our online partners. So I am going to jump over with a couple minutes and just show you a quick, brief overview of what that looks like. All right. So I am over here in my EatLove, in my single meal view. This is what the desktop version looks like. So very similar. I have some leftovers, so this is what your phone would look like if you were doing a single meal view as well. I like the expanded view. I like being able to see what's on the docket for the entire week, and I like to plan things well in advance so there are no surprises, with at least a baseline plan. So as you can see, I plan on having these turmeric eggs 2 days a week in this make ahead vegetarian burrito, 2 days for breakfast. And then, and this is just a test profile at the moment. You can set this up however you wish. You could do breakfast only, so the rest of the meals would be blank. You could do breakfast and dinners only if you know that you go out to eat on lunches and you need to buy something that is quick and in your geolocation. So what I mean by that is you will have the option to add a dish, and you could actually choose from restaurant choices that pick up your location and will tell you how to build that burrito bowl from Chipotle. Exactly what you need to stay within your nutrition plan. So I'm just going to pick this one for time's sake. And what I mean by nutrition plan is that when you set a profile up on EatLove, you set a profile up to suit your nutrition goals. So this one is set for weight management. We have other things on here like high cholesterol, diabetes, muscle gain, other lifestyle goals like just a general healthy diet, endurance focused. So really great templates, and your prescription, your nutrition plan will look exactly how it matches that prescription. So my weight management plan here is going to tell me that this is what I should be doing on a daily basis to hit my weight goals. And it would be the same if you were managing diabetes and you wanted to lower your blood sugar, manage your blood sugars, of course, with the help of your doctor and medication if applicable. But this is going to give you that nutrition piece to make smart, confident decisions in the moment, whether you're at home or on the go. Let's say you don't want turmeric eggs for breakfast and you want to try something else. You can hit swap under smart choices, and it's going to give you options that only fit your nutrition plan. So you don't have to worry about eating the same thing every single day to fit in your macros. It's going to give you hundreds, if not thousands, of different options so that you can pair different foods together, learn different flavor profiles, get really excited about cooking and mealtime again. So I'm going to select that dish for breakfast. And it's pancakes. I could actually batch cook that. So I'm going to go ahead and clear some of these dishes. I'm going to batch cook this, and I'm just going to have these pancakes for the next 3 days for breakfast. And there you go. It's as simple as that if you want to make it that easy. Whenever you're ready to check out, here's our grocery cart. All you have to do is add that to your list. Hit the grocery cart, and your entire list is there waiting for you. You can click into it and see what you need things for, change quantities, remove things. You don't need to worry about eating only EatLove recipes. We do have a database of 6,600 dietitian approved, so you know that they are gold standard recipes vetted by our culinary and nutrition team. But you could also do a la carte items as well. If you're like, well, I just want, toast and a banana and peanut butter for breakfast, you could add each of those individually if they're not already on your grocery list, where you would need to adjust the serving size if you plan to have it for breakfast. You can check off things that you already have. And then when you're ready, you can buy online. So that is our online portal. The recipe search filter over here shows you all 6,600 database recipes, as well as our famous white plate modular styles that are super simple, 5 ingredients or less. Could not be easier, takes 15 minutes. Even the most novice of cooks can get behind these recipes, and you can, as you get more confident in the kitchen, you can graduate yourself to more complicated dishes. The last thing I did want to show you today is our daily food log. Think of this as a more functional version of MyFitnessPal that many of you have probably used in the past. Our data is completely validated by our data scientists to be accurate, making sure that even with your goals of PRing your next back squat are going to be supported, knowing that you're getting exactly what each dish is asking for. MyFitnessPal is really prone to errors. There's no one really validating that data, so it's very easy to over or under eat because no one's checking it. There's an average, I think, of 6 to 8 errors per entry, which is pretty big. When you think about it, we support the largest hospital chains, professional sports teams, so our data has to be very, very accurate to do so. But what you can see in the daily food log is that I have projected some dishes here. If I did eat these, all I have to do is say that I ate them, and my pie chart pops up, my macros start calculating, my calories start deducting for the whole day. And by the end of the day, say if I just ate all of this, I still have 477 calories left. My fiber is well over, which is a good thing that we want to bust in terms of nutrition, but everything else is going to be well within range. You can also not eat these and add your own meals if you are adding a single food item. Maybe you had some tomatoes, maybe you had some eggs. Whatever you want to do, you can add it as our recipe database. You just have to type it in up here, select the portion size, and it will log into your food data while deducting from your daily totals. We have a food log or a water tracker, a weight tracker, exercise and daily notes, all ready for you to keep on track. But that is EatLove in a nutshell. I'm going to come back to our broadcast over here. Hit up our chat feature. All right. Hot dogs. Yep. Marianne, membership pending. Fantastic. Michelle, so you can access the app once you sign up at the front desk of your home location. You'll have access to that. You'll get an invite. You accept the invite. It walks you through that portal of those questions that I talked about, what you're selecting your nutrition and health goal. And then you can add family members. You can add new food avoidances. You can add how long you want to spend on meals. It's a very cohesive onboarding process. Really fun process. We have a pretty high retention rate of just getting through those questions because they're super fun to answer. When you're done with it, you get that on-demand list of here's what I need to eat to fuel my fitness. And it's really cool and interactive because you don't even have to take action on a day. You're like, you know what, I have my dishes elsewhere today, but I am going to do this day the following day. And you can swap and you can batch cook and you can make it your own. And you can really get the family involved, which was one of my favorite pieces, because the earlier the better when it comes to nutrition. Think about if some of you are raising young kids, exposure to the kitchen is so critical when they go off to college, when they have families of their own, with just also their relationship with food. One thing that I'm very thankful for my parents doing, and look what look what career choice I ended up selecting. So it's kind of interesting how that all works out when you think about when was my first exposure to food, how did my parents view food, and everything in between. So let's see, we do have a couple of questions in here. Michelle asks for an invitation. Why don't you email our support email, support@eatlove.is, and I can look at that in a little bit more detail to see what you're actually doing there. Mary Ellen, can you plan and see that calorie count so you know? Yes, you can. So the meal inspiration, if you have a full meal plan, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, it'll be well within your range at all times. It'll show you nothing before it shows you incorrect information. If you are planning your own day, there is a little button on that weekly meal view that you can see where your days are. It'll also tell you, it'll be like a little alert telling you that you've gone over carbs on breakfast or whatever that looks like, but it will alert you when you are going over things. And also in your daily log, if you're logging, it'll say you are over in whatever nutrient that is. All right. And then I think we had another question from Michelle. How does it factor with intermittent fasting and be a pescatarian? So we do have pescatarian options in here. That's one of the diet choices you can select. With intermittent fasting, that's going to fall under our eating patterns project that we are hard at work at right now. Right now, if you don't have breakfast, it's going to assume you're getting breakfast elsewhere. So your lunch, dinner, and snack aren't going to be your total energy needs. In the meantime, I would recommend either setting your profile to a higher calorie limit so that you are getting more calories during your lunch, dinner, and snack, increasing a portion size somewhere along the way, or adding an additional snack into your plan. But that's how I'd work for that. But you can select pescatarian when you sign up. Amazing. Awesome. I took you guys way over today, but I appreciate you all staying on. For those of you that are interested in giving EatLove a try, 43% of you said sometimes you were stressed about meal plans. 6 said always. So of that, we'll say about 82%, sometimes, always, or often stressed about meal plans. So let us help you with that. This is going to be a great option for you and your family, getting them back in the kitchen, making sure that you're not cooking. Whoever is doing the cooking is cooking 3 dishes. We don't want that. We want the family to be all on the same page, as it brings everyone together, brings mealtime back to the forefront. But I will let you all go today. If you have any other questions about EatLove and how it works, feel free to give us a shout out at support@eatlove.is. That is how you can reach myself and the team. Michelle, please do email support if you need any clarification on that. We'll be happy to help you with that and get you set up. But you guys have a great Wednesday, and I will talk to you soon and see you all next Friday for our live Q&A. Bye.